The Huset's Big Show format is again under the microscope, and we'll talk who last night's victims were and what, if anything, should be changed. Plus, these Albaugh logos are everywhere in sprint car racing, including a new spot we noticed yesterday. So what is Albaugh and why are they supporting so much? That and much more today. Let's go. It's Thursday, June 19th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. Today's daily show is being supported by Aerovision.live. If you need a streaming partner for your events, Aerovision is now accepting inquiries. You can reach out to them at info@arrowheadspeedway.com. Their staff can support you if you want to stream your event, but don't know the ins and outs of streaming and the technology. Also, Aerovision's streaming model is designed to pay racetracks more than ever and drivers for the first time. And they understand your concerns about streaming hurting racetrack attendance and that you might not want a streaming partner that feels like a big corporate money grab. That's why they're doing things differently. To find out more information, email Aerovision at info@arrowheadspeedway.com. All season long, Aerovision is the streaming home for the Comp Cam Super Dirt Series, the All-American Outlaw Modified Series, and Arrowhead Speedway. Visit them online at www.aerovision.live. There's been some chatter this week about formats. It kind of started around Ohio Sprint Speed Week and then kind of continued last night with the Huset's opener with the World of Outlaws. A juiced up Huset's after some weather made for a tough situation for drivers following qualifying, and then 6-car heat race inverts. The Hustle and High Bank Nationals are using a points-based format where drivers are awarded points after qualifying and then again after heats. And those point standings then set feature lineups. The big loser on the night last night was Rico Abreu. He was quick time overall, but then the invert puts him starting 6th in Heat Race 1, and he ends up buried on the night. It looked like maybe there was some contact there right after the start of that heat between the 24 and the 49. Ryan Timms then able to get by. Rico's 7th place finish in the heat put him 15th in the B, with really no chance to transfer into the night's main event. Rico, though, did end up being the only top 3 qualifier in either flight to miss the feature. All the rest were either fine after heat races or, like Caleb Johnson, able to get in through the night's B. The bigger issue for Rico is one bad heat race lap has now buried him for not one, but 2 race programs. Because today's heat lineups are set straight up by the points from yesterday, where Abreu is currently 29th. If my math is correct, he's going to start inside row 3, which is the 5th position, but he needs to get to the 3rd position to transfer to the feature. So is this just the nature of the beast at these events, or should Huset's tweak this one for next year? One thing I do wonder is if the heat race order should be reversed. Instead of Rico starting 6th in Heat 1, he starts 6th in Heat 3. He's quick time, so at least give him a better racetrack to make some moves on. And obviously, we're split up into 2 flights here. So Flight 1 is the first 3 heats. Flight 2 is the next 3 heats. And that first heat race on the night, especially on a juiced up track, is the worst it's going to be. Maybe by Heat 3, things have started to widen out just a bit. Buddy Kofoid was the biggest 6th place mover last night. He gained 3 spots. He was in Heat Race 4. Spencer Bayston was +4, but he was the beneficiary of that first lap crash that wiped out Ian Madsen and Austin McCarl, who had better starting spots than he did. And the reason Bryce Lucius loaded up after that hot lap incident the other night at Eldora was because of the format the All-Stars were using. I heard from this team yesterday. They weren't going to get the car repaired in time for qualifying, so they were going to be buried all night. And instead of trying to battle through it, they decided to save their equipment and load up. I don't know how you feel, but it seems like it's a problem when the Ohio Speed Week points leader thinks it's more valuable to just leave than continue racing when they lose a tire in hot laps. I do think it's important to note, though, that discussions about formats are as old as dirt racing. There's clearly no perfect one to utilize. No matter which direction a tracker series goes, there will always be someone who just doesn't like it. Kyle Larson, your winner last night, he outdueled Spencer Bayston for his first sprint car win since the Outlaw show at Jacksonville back in April. We've obviously been talking about some of Larson's struggles here lately with some of the bad luck and the crashes. Spencer Bayston finished 2nd, Buddy Kofoid 3rd. Bayston, another guy we've documented struggles here. He led laps last night at a national tour race for the first time since April of 2024, and it was his first podium finish since Wheatland last October with High Limit. It's still been 2 years, though, since he won a sprint car race. Also, I was glad to see Ian Madsen emerge unhurt from that nasty Heat 6 crash. It was an ugly one. Brother Kerry Madsen not happy with Riley Goodnow and not thrilled with the track and MedStar staff for keeping him away from the car. Tonight is Huset's $100,000 to win show. Then things reset Friday to begin the path towards the $250,000 winner's check on Saturday. I saw a social media post yesterday where Billy Rowley shared that Albaugh was becoming the modern-day priority aviation. If you didn't notice, the Albaugh logo now on the front nose wing side panels of Kyle Larson's Silver Motorsports ride. Billy was referring to the priority aviation deals from the Marshalls that at one point were on many different race cars across the sport, including sprint cars and midgets. And now Albaugh is appearing in a lot of places. They are currently a sponsor of Carson Macedo, Chase Randall, Larson, JJ Hickle, and Ryan Giles. Albaugh is a crop protection company in Iowa that makes pesticides and fertilizers, and its founder, Dennis Albaugh, has become quite the benefactor to sprint car racing. On top of sponsoring all these drivers, his name is also on the new Sweet Tower at the Knoxville Raceway. So how is Albaugh able to support so much? Well, the success of Albaugh LLC has turned him into a billionaire. Yes, a billionaire with a B. Various Google results put his net worth somewhere between $1 and $3 billion. Besides his involvement in sprint car racing, Dennis Albaugh is also heavily involved in horse racing. His colt Admiral Dennis just won the $200,000 Delaware Derby a few days ago. And another Albaugh-owned horse, Catching Freedom, finished fourth last year at the Kentucky Derby. Albaugh told the World of Outlaws earlier this year that he had an uncle who started taking him to Knoxville Raceway, and that he started attending the Knoxville Nationals every year, and his sprint car fandom grew from there. Other winners last night included Justin Grant with USAC at Bridgeport. He got by Mitchell Moles late to score the win. Still to come for Eastern Storm is Big Diamond today, then Williams Grove, Port Royal, and Action Track USA through Sunday. And Rodney Sanders was a USMTS winner at Off-Road Speedway. He is obviously the USMTS points leader. The modified teams head next to Route 66 in Texas this weekend. At Skagit, Super Dirt Cup starts tonight with prelims today and Friday and the $100,000 to win race on Saturday. We've talked multiple times this week about this one. All the top West Coast and California sprint car drivers, plus Justin Peck, Brent Marks, Scott Boguski, Danny Sams, and Cy Lynch. James McFadden comes in scorching hot, but there's going to be plenty of guys trying to slow him down. There's also more Ohio Sprint Speed Week. There's Power Eye, the IRA, Extreme Outlaw Midgets, and more in weekend open wheel racing. The Dirt Late Model Weekend is headlined by the Firecracker 100 at Lernerville for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. $50,000 win on Saturday with double prelim features on Friday. Some good money there as well for the Rush Late Models. There's also the joint World of Outlaws Summer National Show at Peevely and a bunch of regional and local action. Make sure to check out DIRTRACKR.com/watch tonight for your streaming options all weekend. And one rainout note, today's Mr. Dirt Track USA for the Super Dirt Car Series at Lebanon Valley has been rained out. This one is canceled. It will not be made up. That's it for the show this week. Thanks for the support, the comments, and tuning in each and every single day. Hope you guys have a great Thursday out there. We'll see you back here on Sunday.